Here's what's coming up on your horizon. Well, Oklahoma has been at the forefront of our nation's energy industry for more than a century, pioneering new and innovative technologies that have unlocked vast energy reserves. Today, we take a closer look at the industry and the jobs it's creating.
I would tell kids there's a huge future here. This is not a dying industry. If anything, it's enjoying a rebirth.
I visit with Oklahoma's Secretary of Energy and the Environment, Michael Teague.
I think water is the largest issue facing both the energy and the environment sides of our office.
In this week's Oklahoma Standard, we recognize a company whose local manufacturing expertise has turned it into a player in the global energy industry. And we wind up our day showing you how an accident has turned into an opportunity for some Oklahoma students. Stay with us for Oklahoma Horizon.
Oklahoma Horizon is made possible by the Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education.
Oklahoma's investment in career tech provides more than nationally recognized technology education and training. It produces solid financial returns for the state's economic future. Oklahoma Career Tech, elevating our economy.
And the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry, helping good people grow good things. And now, from the Career Tech Studios in Stillwater, here's your host, Rob McClendon.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Horizon. Well, Oklahoma's economy runs on energy. More than 340,000 Oklahomans work in the energy industry, earning wages dramatically higher than the state's median income. Yet there are concerns about the future of what that workforce may look like. Joining me now is our Andy Barth.
That's right, Rob. While there is a healthy number of energy workers in the industry, many of those workers are looking toward retirement, leaving positions open and concerns about qualified workers. And with America racing toward energy independence, some fear our up-and-coming workforce isn't ready.
From wind turbines to underground drilling, America is establishing itself as the leader in the global energy industry.
Right now, we're leading an energy revolution. The U.S. will be energy independent by 2020.
A goal that Continental Resources' Jeff Hume says has job potential springing up.
What it's sprung is the petrochemical industry is exploding right now. There's around $95 to $100 billion worth of projects on new plants.
Leaving the industry in need of workers with the right skills.
It does take a person with a good technical background, good solid math, good computer skills.
I would tell kids there's a huge future here. This is not a dying industry. If anything, it's enjoying a rebirth.
ITC Transmission is a Kansas-based company that's expanding into Oklahoma. And its president, Christine Schmidt, says while the industry is growing, its workforce is not.
We're seeing more and more retirements coming up of legacy knowledge leaving our operations. So our frontline technicians, our frontline construction workers, et welders, they're all starting to retire, and we're needing more and more young people to go into those type of skilled positions. But more importantly, they have to bring that technology capability.
But many in the industry worry that a growing skills gap between what companies need and what employees offer could threaten future expansion.
What you're seeing is a lot of industry is just having to train themselves. So we'll bring people in and just have to train them themselves.
And it's a problem that Schmidt says can be solved with early STEM education.
We see the biggest challenge is making sure we're getting young people into the maths, the sciences, the engineering and technology curriculum, and then actually coming into the energy space. We're seeing a challenge of kids entering that field, and we really need to do more to create incentives to bring those kids into these programs.
And at Continental Resources, there is a wide range of job availability, from field to desk work.
The well site, we're needing people with mechanical skills that can get out there, that also understands computers. In the office, we need a tremendous amount of technical support, drafting, just the whole realm of that technical ability we're needing as a company.
And Hume says for young workers with the right skills, America's energy industry is the place to be.
So all of this manufacturing is going to be open. So for young people to get into the industry right now, in the petrochem industry or the oil and gas industry or manufacturing, just in plain old manufacturing, come up with ideas for new tools and technology, it's going to be happening in the United States in the future, not in some foreign country.
Well, now in terms of job growth, Oklahoma's energy industry is #2 in the nation, trailing to only North Dakota. And as innovations and technologies continue to surface, Oklahoma's job growth is expected to rise.
So how lucrative can some of these careers in oil and gas, how lucrative can they be?
Well, Rob, there's certainly money to be made in the energy industry, and depending where workers are in that industry, some people in the field are making up to six-figure salaries.
Certainly not a bad occupation. Thank you so much, Andy. Now, when we return, I'll sit down with Oklahoma's Secretary of Energy and the Environment, Michael Teague.
You're watching Oklahoma Horizon, featuring some of the good things that are happening in the great state of Oklahoma.
Well, excluding federal offshore areas, Oklahoma is now 5th in the nation for the production of crude oil and one of the top producers of natural gas. Now, this comes at a time when we're seeing skyrocketing domestic oil production that has the United States at the cusp of energy independence. Earlier, I sat down with Oklahoma's Secretary of Energy and the Environment, Michael Teague. Well, when it comes to our resources, probably nothing is more important than water. And we've had a lot of it in parts of the state, maybe not so much in other parts of the state. But really, conservation is the key to probably a lot of our problems.
I think that's the first step. I think that's what we need to start with. I think water is the largest issue facing both the energy and the environment sides of our office. It's going to impact industry. It's going to impact, it already is impacting the agricultural industry. It's, to me, the #1 issue facing the state. And it's one that you have to get out in front of. Water projects take a long time. And the very first thing you can do is make the best use of what you've got. You know, our background with the Corps of Engineers was focused on the surface water in Oklahoma, and if you were at Lake Tenkiller, then do you want the water in the lake for recreation and for water supply users there? Do you want the water released and downstream for downstream fisheries in the communities down below? The answer is yes. I mean, you want it in both places. Well, there's a hydropower project that sits in the middle. So if you're going to let that water loose out of the dam, you ought to generate electricity with it. And again, make the best use. And by the way, that water at Tenkiller runs down and hits the navigation system on the McClellan-Kerr Arkansas River Nav system. And so that's supporting the navigation industry for the ports of Muskogee and Johnson's Port 33 and all the way to Port of Catoosa. So you have to make the best use of the water you have, and that's on a large scale. And so the question is, what do you do at the small scale, and how much impact could you have? What should you be doing in your house? Well, you probably shouldn't have your sprinklers on this morning when there's snow out on the ground. And I tell you, I mean, we've driven all over the state in the last couple of months, and it's amazing how many sprinkler systems are still turned on in January in Oklahoma. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but that's where the water goes.
Yeah, can't understand that one because it just might freeze on them. Yeah. Let me ask you this, because you mentioned industry, and I was just going through, you know, our top industries. You've got energy, you've got agriculture, and you've got tourism and recreation. All three of those majorly impacted by our water supplies.
Yeah, absolutely. And so much of that relies on the surface water. And so where we've seen the largest impact of the drought is really the southwest corner of the state. And that's impacted the agricultural industry really for the last 3 years. I think last week when I checked, Lugert Altus is down 30 feet. We were out there just before Christmas to talk about water and to bring together the community and the city of Altus and the agricultural users and figure out what can they do together towards finding a solution to make the best use of the water they've got, and then are there projects that they should invest in collectively to increase their infrastructure. We're seeing that drought impact now is coming down the Red River. And so where it's been impacting Lugert Altus, Waurika, Lake Kemp over on the Texas side, Tom Steed, Foss, now we're seeing those impacts are starting to hit Lake Texoma. So Lake Texoma right now, tourism. And so it's about 608 is the elevation of the lake, and that's probably about 9 feet low from where it normally would be this time of year. And it's because the watershed for Texoma is all those lakes I just listed that have been hit by the drought for the last 3 years. I mean, that's the bubble that all feeds Texoma. And so we've been down there and talked to some of the communities around there, and I've asked those communities, what do you have for drought plans? What are you doing for water conservation? What are you doing to conserve your water? And it's interesting how many of those communities will say, hey, the lake is down, but we're not in a drought. We have water. And so they're not putting any water conservation in, but yet the water that they're taking out of the rivers, whether it's the Blue or the Washita, that's water that could be in the lake. So I think we have to talk about water conservation at the community level. We've been asked before if we see, any kind of a state mandate. I don't think we see anything at the state level. I think this is a municipal issue, and the communities can deal with it. Bartlesville has done a great job of their water conservation. Oklahoma City has started. There's been some voluntary measures in different communities, but I think it's time for the communities really to step that up a little bit and really put some water restrictions. We've been stationed around the world and around the country, and we've lived in other communities that have water restrictions. It impacts when they first start, and people get used to it. We were there in Colorado Springs, and about 5 years after we got there, they lifted the water restrictions. Nobody changed.
Yeah, and what exactly did they do in Colorado Springs?
So they did the alternate days for watering your yard, restricted when you could wash your car, large water uses like that. They certainly went to the industries and asked them and put conservation plans in place. What we saw when we were in Colorado is that folks went from irrigation systems to xeriscape. And go back to more natural grasses and some rock that didn't require watering.
Definitely cheaper.
It's much cheaper, and it's a lot easier to maintain. You don't have to cut your grass on Saturday. But at the end of that 5 years, when they lifted the water restrictions, people didn't pull out that xeriscape and go put their lawns back in because they were comfortable with it. And so it was a behavioral change. It's very similar to what we're doing on the energy efficiency across the state right now. And so the governor's 20 by 2020 program starts with a behavior conservation for energy efficiency of state employees and state facilities. And that's actually modeled out of OSU and what was done here on the campus. And so you change the behavior first. And that's what I talk about water conservation. We have to change that behavior. There's some other things, and you mentioned the industry, and so that really gets to more recycling and reuse types of projects. Devon has got a water recycling facility out at the Cane of Woodford where they're drilling, and so they're pulling the water back, the flowback water back, and realized that the quality was good enough that they could actually filter it fairly easily and then use it for the next well. And so they worked with the Corporation Commission on some of the regulatory pieces, but they've got a facility set there where they actually are piping the water back to this filtering system, piping it back out to the next drill pad, and they've taken trucks off the road, which is great for county commissioners. They're using a lot less fresh water, which is great for the drought, and they're saving themselves money. So it's kind of a win-win-win. It's a big operation, and so now the question is, how do we do something like that to where all the operators could take advantage of something like that? Either get the cost of the technology lower. We've had a couple of folks talk to us that they have mobile solutions that they could bring out and operate really from truck to tank back into the well and do it on the drill pad. We've had some other folk come and talk about setting up maybe a central water reuse facility and then spoking out to support maybe multiple operators as they drill in an area. So I think there's a lot of solutions out there, and I think industry is great about figuring out how to come up with those and then how to use them.
Yeah, because ultimately it will save them money.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Talking to climatologists, it's very possible we could just be at the front end of a drought. What could that mean for the state?
I actually think we're in the middle of it. Some folks, again, we got all the storms last spring, and we got some pretty good rains August, September, and a lot of folks said, congratulations, the drought's over. And that's just not the case. We've been in a drought for 3 years. I think we're going to be in a drought for another 3. If you go back and look with the climatologists, this really looks like the 1950s drought, which was 51 to about 57. So about 6 years, I think we're in the same thing. I think what's different is that it's starting to impact other areas of this country that aren't used to being in drought. Southwest part of the United States has always had water issues, and the infrastructure put in place has led to all the development. But we're starting to see water shortages or restrictions come across the southeast part of this country. And the southeast part of the nation's never really had to deal with drought before. And so they're starting to see some issues as well.
Now, is there anything that we can do at the state level that would influence communities to put some stricter standards in place?
I think there are. I think there's two pieces to it. I think the first part is information. It's talking to the communities and saying, look, you know, if you want to talk about a lake being low, then tell me what you're doing to conserve water that helps that lake. Be part of the solution. And I think, to be honest, as we've traveled around the state, and certainly as I traveled with the Corps of Engineers the last 3 years and what I've done with the state in the last 5 or 6 months, Oklahomans help Oklahomans. People want to be involved. You saw the response to the storms last spring. I mean, it was incredible. Oklahomans want to help each other. And so that's the first part, get the communities involved. The second piece goes to something that we can do at the state, and that's talk about water reuse. And so what's the best use of water that's come out of treatment plants? Do you need fresh water to water a golf course? Probably not. That gets to a permitting issue at the state level. And so we're working through right now of how we're going to issue those permits. I think we'll see those permits get issued pretty soon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Secretary.
Thanks.
Still to come on Oklahoma Horizon, creating jobs out of thin air. But first, our Oklahoma Standard.
Well, we first met Chuck Mills last week, a strong advocate for middle-class jobs. He's a proponent of tying today's education to the jobs that are out there, something that his family company is a perfect example of. Mills Machines has literally grown up with Oklahoma's energy industry. What began as a bicycle repair business over 100 years ago is today a multi-million-dollar manufacturer of earth boring tools, drilling equipment of all shapes and sizes. In this week's Oklahoma Standard, we recognize an individual who believes in the magic of manufacturing.
With a little bit of water and a little bit of fire, there's magic happening at Mills Machine Company.
We start off with a solid piece of steel like this, and this is pretty heavy. But it's solid alloy steel, and we're able to take this product or this raw piece of material and make it into this product. This is what we call a little geoclaw. This is for the geothermal industry. But you can see that there's obviously the body would be all machined. It's got holes drilled in it for circulation. And then we fabricate these cutters to it. But to be able to take this product or this raw piece of material and make it into this product is like magic to me.
Chuck Mills is president and says finding workers to help him make the magic isn't easy.
It's pretty tough because I think that with media and with parents, you know, it's like, oh, let's all go to college and be a doctor, be an attorney, you know, be a scientist, be a forensic scientist, whatever. You know, they don't really think about manufacturing as a career. And there are great opportunities. You can easily make $50,000 to $100,000 in a manufacturing environment, and people just don't realize it.
But training is a must.
In many instances, of course, they don't have to go to college. They can go to a career tech, get a certificate, or a community college. With just a little education, maybe even just a year or two past high school, you can be knocking down some pretty good dollars. You got to know the soft skills, and you know, if we can just have someone with some basic skills that will show up and want to work, that's the real key. It's really about being clean, showing up on time, and wanting to learn, wanting to work. And of course, my company, like most companies, the more you know, the more you're going to get paid. So if you want to learn and you want to get paid more, then all you have to do is have that attitude. It's all about the attitude is the way it starts.
And according to Chuck, the machining industry has changed.
You know, a lot of people think, just like construction, it's a hard, dirty job. And, you know, we have an old shop here that was built in 1947, and when we go out into it, you'll smell a machine shop, which to me is a smell of money. Like people smell oil, and they smell money. That's what I smell, and it's just a lot of history. But still, the environment is clean. You're working it with computerized equipment, and it's really not as hot and dirty and nasty as people think.
Thomas Combs has been working for Mills Machine for over 20 years and says the changes keep him on his toes.
When I first came to work here, the shop was full of manual machines. We had no CNC equipment, 2 old screw machines, and about 20 hands doing the work. Since then, they've bought the CNCs, the mills, the lathes. We've culled down to where there's just me running on the manuals now, and there's 3 of us doing the work that nearly 20 did before.
Tyler Robinson is new to the shop and says he likes making the magic happen.
There will always be work for machinists. It's something that will always be there forever, as far as I can tell, you know. It's just a great trade to learn, and it keeps you on your toes. It keeps your mind sharp because you're always having to do math or whatnot, and it's also fun.
Now Chuck says that even though they have a small shop, they can still compete against bigger companies.
We can compete with the big guys. Matter of fact, you know, image is everything, and especially with a website, with marketing and advertising, no one would know that we're not a 500-person company because we make so many different products and we make large products. I mean, I've made drilling bits that were 110-inch diameter. So we've made really big, massive type drilling bits for the construction industry, and you know, then we've made very small things as well. But we do work with a lot of OEMs as well, making product for them, private label. But we have our own line, and then we custom manufacture and modify from that line and provide solutions to people's drilling problems.
And competing worldwide.
Manufacturing is where it all starts. I mean, everything else is a service. So if we're not making things, then we're not growing. And this state needs manufacturing. The United States needs manufacturing. You know, we have to compete with a lot of global interests in the world. We compete with China and Europe and the Middle East and South America every single day. No longer do we think about our competition in the next state. Our competition is global.
Local manufacturing for a global economy.
Now, Chuck tells us he isn't alone in needing skilled workers. Currently, there are about 4,500 advanced manufacturing employers in the state who employ roughly 10% of our state's workforce. Chuck Mills, president of Mills Machines, and this week's Oklahoma Standard.
Want to share something you've seen here today? Well, all of our episodes are streaming on our YouTube channel at Oklahoma Horizon TV, or you can subscribe to our weekly free podcasts on iTunes.
Well, when a semi-truck heading down the highway broke its axle, its cargo, after a few tumbles, wound up in the ditch. It was an expensive loss because the cargo was a turbine for a wind tower. But thanks to the ingenuity of an Oklahoma school, that accident has turned into a learning tool for students studying to be wind technicians. Here's our Andy Barth.
We see them dotted along roadways, powering our world. And for the workers who maintain these gigantic structures, a lot of training is required before heading up.
Everybody wants to climb a wind turbine. Well, you need to be able to do something when you get up there.
Darren Campbell is a former tower operator and now teaches the wind tower safety course at Francis Tuttle.
You're walking around. This is what's inside that big white box.
Safety is key when working on wind turbines, and Campbell says it's important for his students to learn on actual turbine components.
A lot of safety issues involved, and with this I can actually show them what those issues are.
And for student Shannon Buchanan, this career is the right fit.
My father was in the oil field, and as a kid I got to go on the rigs with him. So I wanted to get into that type of field, and wind energy has always just interested me.
Working on wind turbines requires employees to literally reach new heights. But for Buchanan, that won't be an issue.
As a kid, I was always in trouble for climbing trees and climbing over fences and stuff, or climbing on top of the house, and so I actually like heights.
Tall structures and extreme weather conditions isn't for everyone. But thanks to the education Francis Tuttle offers, companies don't have to train new hires from Campbell's program.
Now, the thing that's unique about our career tech system here in Oklahoma is we can give that training to these guys out here working, and these companies don't have to send them through and pay to get them trained. They already come to them already with those certifications. They're ready to be hired.
Good news for Buchanan, who looks forward to helping keep our world sustainable.
Contributing back to the environment and getting into something that was a renewable energy, an upcoming field that I can learn and grow fast in.
Training to power our world, one step at a time.
But you will get real used to climbing in and out of here.
You can keep up with us throughout the week. Just head to okhorizon.com, where you can see more of any of our stories, read our reporters behind the scenes blogs, see what others are saying about us on Twitter, and face the facts with our regular updates. So reach out and touch us anywhere and anytime.
Next time on Oklahoma Horizon, we meet some Oklahomans who have taken the road less traveled. And as poet Robert Frost wrote, that has made all the difference.
I don't think we planned on it in any way, shape, or form. When it comes to diversifying, it's just kind of happened. But we get one thing done and we continually have a project that we need to do.
Choosing your own path on Oklahoma Show for the Heartland, Oklahoma Horizon. Well, that is going to wrap us up for today, but you can see more of any of our stories on our website at okhorizon.com. You can watch us on the go with our weekly podcast on iTunes and follow us throughout the week on Twitter at OK Horizon TV. Or just become a Horizon fan on Facebook. We would welcome you. I'm Rob McClendon. Thanks for watching. See you back here next time.
Horizon is made possible by the Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education and the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry, helping good people grow good things. Thank you for watching Oklahoma Horizon.